What I want to talk about today is something that seems to have crept up on me over the last several days, and probably it's been happening over a longer period of time. But I found myself losing the desire to be a seeker of enlightenment. I'm no longer seeking enlightenment, awakening, liberation, bliss, happiness, nor the end of suffering. Those just don't come up in my vocabulary on a daily basis. And it seems this movement from transcendent awareness, where there was a time I wanted to be able to experience numerous and on-demand out-of-body experiences so I could leave this body behind and its headaches and its insecurities and its doubts and its suffering, and transcend all of that and find myself in some kind of crazy bliss out state of mind. So I don't even know when it happened. The recognition of this movement away from seeking awareness and enlightenment, some enhanced state of mind, other than it began when I shifted my perception and focus from transcendent awareness to embodied awareness. And as I came back into the physical form, into the body, I began to see very clearly, daily, the truth of impermanence. How thoughts arise, present, and fall away. How sensations arise, present in the body, and fall away. How change is happening all the time. There is no getting stuck forever in suffering, in pain, in loss, in grief, or even in any kind of narrative of hell on earth. When seeking stops, what happens? Nothing extraordinary happens that hasn't happened previously, and is happening now and will continue to happen. Life happens. And all this usage of words and verbiage, where they used to be able to, in this continual commentary in the head about the state of affairs, about the state of my life, the state of conditions of my existence, hasn't stopped. That chatting continues in my head somewhere, but I can see through it. Or it seems to have lost its gravitational influence on me, so that I immediately got caught up in the story of, this is really shitty, this is lousy, this is terrible, this is whatever. This is great, this is fabulous. That self-commentary happens, but it just seems to be happening to no one. Yet there is this sense of I amness, that sense of me, the conditioned being, the conditioned mind-created sense of me continues to exist. And it acts as a place marker, a point of reference in ever-changingness. But it's not necessarily who I really, 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 really am anymore. This is not something that I sought. I did not sought or seek the stopping of seeking enlightenment awareness. This just seemed to change as I became more accustomed to embodying life. All of us inform our manifestations and expressions of life. And no words ever, ever, ever can talk about it in any sense of representing reality. Reality is as it is. And we project our storyline, that inner commentary inside the head, we project that out onto the world automatically. And when you've got millions and billions of people on the planet, all of them projecting their anxieties and craziness and fears and nervousness onto that one screen of actuality, there is a lot of confusion that arises out of that, a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of jealousy and envy, ignorance and fear, greed and thuggery. And that too is as it is. I'm not saying this is something you want to look forward to. It may happen to you, it may not happen to you. It happened to this particular embodied manifestation of awareness and consciousness. It may not happen to you. But I'm saying that in this ever-changing scope of things, this is something that might happen to you as well, and not to be concerned about it, frightened about it. It actually feels pretty good. It actually feels, no pun intended, liberating. So all these folks out there online, on the internet, in satsang, in ashrams, in church halls, in private homes, talking about we can deliver you to everlasting happiness and bliss and you know, if that's what floats your boat, chasing that rainbow, go for it. But there is no need to seek some kind of permanent state of stasis, of stasis, never ever changing this. It's always ever changing. And now if it rains, it rains. And if I feel confused and there are uncomfortable sensations associated with that, well then, there it is. And if sometimes I feel ill and I've got upset stomach, I've got terrible headaches, well they last, they come, I suffer for whatever that is, and it happens, it goes away. Or if I want something very badly and I get sucked into that game of wanting and it doesn't happen, so I feel disappointment. Okay. Or I catch a glimpse of some reality, some actuality. Okay, I get a little piece of awakening. I get a little piece of unhappiness. I get a little piece of suffering. I get a little piece of compassion and love and kindness. I get a little piece of boredom. I get a little piece of anger. So what? That is it. There is only this. Not the this that people talk about, but the this that actually is. It's always only this. And the seeking, after a while, can stop. Or at least the conceptual seeking. The mind seeking answers to questions, profound questions. This totally bypasses the mind. This is a kind of whole body yearning that is not tied into any specific goal or desired for outcome. This is simply a yearning to be this. Which, as you all know, always is. So if you have that feeling, where the seeking seems to stop, don't feel that anything is wrong. Let that marinate with you. Let it fill you. And if it gives you a sense of freedom and relief, terrific. If not, go with whatever comes up.